Welcome to Black Man Lab. We are live Monday, June 7th. Welcome, and we are excited about tonight's topic, and we're excited to have the group of panelists that we have tonight. So without further ado, I have my brother Joe Barker with me, as well as my brothers Mawuli Davis and Jarrod Grant from the Black Man Lab board. Joe, what's happening, brother?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? I hope everybody's doing good tonight, man. Hope everybody had a productive week last week, a little bit of a short one, but still found ourselves very busy, man. So for the panelists, thank you all for joining us this evening. For my brothers on the board and our executive producer, Mark Lawson, thank you for always putting together a good show, fellas.
All right, Mawuli, what's up, bro?
What's up, fam? Good to see everybody, man. Just excited for this conversation, man. I have with me Professor Dr. Maurice Henderson, who has been chasing dreams all of his Black life. And so he'll be able to share his perspective as a writer, author, poet, and professor. So we're excited, man, and good to see we got some Chicago talent in the house. We always want to give some context to what we do. This really started with forefathers who wanted to be able to relate to their sons in a better way. That, you know, we always reach a point where our sons become a little tone deaf with us as dads. They just stop, you know, not necessarily stop listening, but they don't get it all. And so we said, well, let's gather some other men who we respect that could, as my grandmama would say, put some fat on their head, right? And so we started gathering. We gathered first here at our law firm in Atlanta, a group of about 15, 20. They brought some of their buddies. Then we went over to Sankofa Church. Some of y'all from Chicago probably know my man, Derek Wright, the pastor of Sankofa Church here in Atlanta. And then we eventually went over to the Y and started having in-person meetings. And so after the gathering, they would be able to either hoop, go to the gym and get their hoop on, or go and play chess and vibe with each other. So we did that, and we got up to about 250 young people and intergenerational conversation at the YMCA, which we hope to bring back in person in July. But that was the genesis of what we're doing, and what we're trying to do for those who are able to watch tonight, beautiful. But we're really just trying to continue to capture and create this sacred and safe space with you brothers who have volunteered to come on and share tonight, so that we can, at some point in the hopefully near future, but maybe later, they'll say there was some strong Black men who made a conscious decision to try to impart good wisdom and knowledge to younger men, to each other, to our community. And that's what this is about. And so Brother Marty and Joe have been really facilitating this, our online version, and maintaining it. And so I just want to thank you all and look forward to this very, timely conversation. And we're ready to rock and roll. I know, I guess, Joe, you're going to center us, and then Jarrod, you're going to do the libations?
Absolutely. So, as Mawuli said, man, one of the things that we do to center ourselves, and a lot of us, and I got texts today from brothers ready to get back in space amongst one another. Because one of the things we do when we're around one another is we just really check on each other, man. We really, Mawuli and Marty would do a phenomenal job of just saying, hey, anybody who had a tough week, just, stand up, and they would kind of be wondering what's this about, you'd get 2 or 3 brothers to stand up. And when they would do that, Mawuli would say, all right, everybody, show them what we do here. And we would all go up and dap them up or hug them up and just give them some love, man. Let them know that, hey, we got your back. We're here with you. We're here going through it with you. And we got your back to come through it. And it was really a huge, huge expression of love. And that's how we would start, man. We would start by opening up with that, so brothers know that this is a safe and sacred space. So since we've been kind of in more of a virtual environment, one of the things we do is we center ourselves via just a little bit of a breathing technique, a little bit of just, getting off of our back some of the stresses and things that we're navigating through so that we can open ourselves to the conversation. And tonight's topic is, just as always, a very important topic: chasing your dreams. There's so many people out there that want to understand, how do I do that? I'm pretty sure I can't do that. I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to do that. Society has told me I can't do that. But we open this conversation so that they can hear from the elders, from the younger brothers, from all you that are doing it, and how to do it and what steps to take. So to do that, we have a breathing technique. We just take a couple deep breaths and exhale so we can open ourselves to the wisdom that is going to be brought to us. So with that, I'll say, everybody, if you could, just on the count of 3, let's take a deep breath. Inhale on 1, 2, 3. Hold it. Now exhale. Now exhale. You want to work on expanding your lungs and breathing in the positive energy that is coming our way as Jarrod is about to get the ancestors into the room, and exhaling all of the stress and the burdens and the things that will prevent us from receiving it. So one more time, let's take a deep breath on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And exhale. And now let's get the ancestors in our space.
Man, thank you for centering us, Joe. And what's going on, brothers? I'm happy to be here today. I have to see all of you today. I just want us to, reflect and think about all it took for us to be here, all of those folks who sacrificed to be here, for us to be here, for us to pass down some wisdom and knowledge to a lot of these young people and even our peers and our brothers. As Mawuli said earlier, this is an intergenerational conversation, yet we impart to our young people. So we have some ancestors that helped lay the foundations to civilization, lay the foundations to humanity. We just say ashe to them. We had ancestors that laid down and survived for us through the Middle Passage and through slavery. We want to say ashe to them. We have individual ancestors like Mama Moses and Frederick Douglass, and Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X and Ida B. Wells. We want to say ashe to all of these individuals, and all the more that you can think about and reflect in your own minds. But I also want us to think about the 10,000 ancestors it took to make you in your own bloodline. All of these ancestors that came together in order to construct you. And so think about, for a few seconds, all of those ancestors that came before you, all of your own bloodline ancestors. Think about them for about 3 seconds. And then everybody raise your fist and say ashe. And then we want to get to all of the ancestors, known and unknown, that just laid the foundation and whose shoulders that we stand upon. And so we want to raise our fist, and we're going to say ashe 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Ashe. 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 Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Brother Jarrod. We know that this work that we're doing here, the work that these gentlemen on our panel and so many other brothers out there are doing for our community, could not be done without those that came before us, for those that instilled in us the will, the desire, and the want to reach our dreams. So without further ado, I want to move into our panel and allow you guys to give an introduction of yourself. Just a quick kind of 3-minute introduction, if you could. Just what gets you here today, and then we're going to delve into some questions as well. So first, I'll start, Brother Chance. I know that you're on the clock here, so I'm going to start with you, man.
Yes, sir. Chance Mack here. Thanks for having me. It's good to be back in this circle again. I was a part of Black Man Lab when we had it at the YMCA. So it's good to be back in the digital presence. But just to give a little bit of background on me, I work in technology. I'm a software consultant for a software called Workday. So in the human capital management and also financial capital management side of the house. Outside of technology, outside of work, I'm really passionate about my community, and I founded an organization called Unforgettable Souls, and we donate shoes to the homeless.
Great stuff. And yeah, Chance, we're glad to have you on as a panelist because we know that you have been in our space and have been integral in that. So glad to have you here, brother. And thank you again. Next up, I want to get my brother, Jason. Jay.
What's going on? How you doing? How you guys doing? It's good to meet everybody. I really love the energy on the panel and in this room. And it's more of kind of what we need in our community leadership from us as Black men. And I think that that's something that I try to embody every day. My name's Jason Campbell. I'm the CEO of Brand B Sports. We're a global sports marketing agency based here in Chicago. We focus on working with professional athletes, helping them build their personal brand and image on and off the court, field, racetrack, and ice. Definitely just said racetrack and ice. We have a heavy entrenchment in NASCAR, and one of the few outside organizations that works with the Chicago Blackhawks on their social impact strategy. The reason I started Brand B was really understanding that there was a void in Black representation with urban and Black athletes. And I felt like they were squandering opportunities to really impact their community, but also maximize and monetize that impact for their own personal brand. And so that's why I started Brand B about 10 years ago. And we've worked with several athletes across the professional sports spectrum, from their endorsement deals to their community and social impact strategy, all the way to their day-to-day affairs, as well as investing in different startups. So, but it was really built on the foundation of community impact and serving the community. And Marty will tell you, that's something that's my passion. That's something that I've been very successful at. I'm from Chicago, from 62nd and Normal. So I'm from Inglewood, and I currently invest there as well as live a neighborhood over in Washington Park, and I'm not moving, even though I could stay in Lincoln Park, because of the impact piece. And I've been single-handedly been able to really help, kind of build up the community around me. And so I'm committed to that.
We love you for that, brother. And yes, I've watched you for a good while and a long time. In another life, me and Jason worked together.
Yeah.
I've been proud to see what he's been doing since then. Next, my man, one of my hoop partners from back home, who I love dearly, my man, Michael Skeet Horton. Skeet.
All right, man. Appreciate it. I'd like to thank you all for the opportunity to just be a part of this platform. What you're doing aligns with what I do professionally and from a personal standpoint. Professionally, I'm a high school counselor. So on a daily basis, I'm working with students on chasing their dream, figuring out what their next step is in life. And I enjoy doing that. To me, it's not even a job. It's an opportunity to support young people. Then also started this foundation, Hoop Till It Hurts. And the foundation is, as part of foundation, what I do is I work with young people. The focus is on basketball and athletes because we want to keep them in the game. And we figure if we keep them in the game long enough, they will connect with positive people. And then that will inspire and also support them in figuring out what they want to do in life. So again, from what I want to do personally and professionally, this aligns, and I really enjoy an opportunity to learn from others as well as continue to bless young people. And Mr. Grant, I'd also like to say today is my grandmother's birthday. She passed some years ago. This would have been her 98th birthday. And she raised me along with a lot of other people in my family. And just the opportunity, the opening, you gave me another way and an opportunity to pay homage today. And, you know, without even knowing, you all joined in on it. So I already know that this is a special group. I learned something new already. And I just, you know, that's part of my motivation for doing a lot of what I do. And in the name of her and all the people in my community, I want to keep that going. So I appreciate you guys.
I say, brother.
Go ahead. What were you going to say, Jarrod?
I said, I shade to the brother, and I said, you should go ahead and light a candle for it too.
Most definitely. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for that, Steve. Appreciate you, brother. Last but not least, my man, long time, haven't seen him in I don't know how long, my brother Maurice.
Brothers, I don't even know what to say. I believe that I'm blessed to be in the city. I had the opportunity to hang out with the brothers that are affiliated with the attorney. And I said, you know, I've been at the hotel since Thursday, and I've been watching a young brother sit at the computer from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and did not eat. And I told everyone, the rest of my, I'm gonna make sure that as long as I'm here, he is gonna be eating. And today, you know, I told him about money management, and I said, I'm gonna pay your bills, but also make sure that you keep money in your pocket, just in case. You know, so that was just, you know, just me being me. And I had a great time, you know, just visiting with the brothers. And I had wanted to tell one brother who's at Lincoln, he don't know I got him. When I get back to Philly, I got him. So we just for you brothers to kind of give some context with Maurice, we met in Philadelphia when I just started organizing. Like literally, I was on the ship. I was probably 18 months out of the Naval Academy and started organizing. And so Maurice, who is your frat brother, Jarrod and Miguel and Joe. Yep. See, there you go.
Here we go.
Skeet, these are gang symbols, brother.
I see them. I see
They
them.
banging.
Stop playing, man. Yeah.
So, but anyway, we met. And I tell you, like, Skeet, what you just said, man, is so profound. Is you just try to open up doors for young people and help them chase their dreams. And at the time, I was 22, and I was like saying, "Hey, we started this nonprofit on this ship. We getting ready to politicize all of these young sailors and enlisted and officers." Around Black consciousness. This is in the early 90s. So Malcolm X, the movie had just come out. And so it was that whole energy. And we meet and he says, I have an office space for you. Just similar to what he did with this young brother who he just met. He said, we have an office space for your nonprofit, which was at the time called the National African American Club. And so he helped this young brothers chase his dreams, and that has led to where we are and what we do, even with Black Man Lab, because I learned so much in Philadelphia, watching him organize the National Black Authors Tour and actually published my first book of poetry. And so, so I was glad to see him and glad he could be a part of this conversation about how we can all help either chase these dreams and as we chase them, help other brothers and sisters chase their dreams as well.
Shay. So, you know, with that, man, let's get into the conversation about the subject matter, chasing dreams, and I'll start with you guys to ask what when you start to move into where you're at today. First and foremost, did you see that as your dream when you were younger? Do you feel as though you are approaching your dreams now? And what's that process look like to get there? Chance, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so when I think about what I wanted to do when I was younger, I wanted to go to the league. I wanted to play basketball or play football. Yeah, so that was my dream. But, as my friends grew to 6'5" and 6'7", I didn't grow that tall. So my dreams were cut short, literally. So when I got to college, I had always been interested in technology, and I just started to explore that and got a couple opportunities to intern with CNN and Turner Broadcasting and kind of dive into the CNN money side and kind of get introduced to technology. And that's what kind of got my start there. And then I just pursued it, just went all in on trying to see how far I could take it. And that's what kind of led me to where I am today. And I still feel like I have so much farther to go. So.
And you feel like, do you feel like now, because I know you're doing some other things, you have a podcast and some other things going on. Do you feel like those things are hedging you towards your ultimate dreams?
Absolutely. I think my podcast, or just kind of what I do in the community, is really my business card. When we think about personal branding, it's really just to kind of communicate what my goals are. And it's also a liaison to help me introduce or meet people that are in line with where my goals are as well. So I think the more curious I am about what other people are doing, the more that I learn and the more opportunity that comes my way as well.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Jason, how about you, brother?
Yeah, well, one, I want to start by saying like that activity that we did with Joe, as far as centering yourself, is so important. Marty, you probably noticed, but I am an avid yogi. I do yoga every day, sometimes twice a day on the weekends. And I've been able to really expose that activity of mindfulness and centering yourself to a lot of like athletes. I've had, a bunch of NBA guys on my roof doing yoga, MLB, et cetera, in the hood. So that part is really important. But as far as my dreams, I think it's important for us as adults to understand kind of where that starts. And that started for me when I was younger, growing up in Inglewood, but my mother never really put those boundaries on me. And I grew up without any boundaries when it comes to my dreams. And she just injected in me everything that I'm doing right now and put me around individuals that were going to amplify that. And that was so important, bro. Like, she told me I was going to travel the world. She told me at 9, Marty, that I wasn't going to be able to work for anybody else because of how stubborn I was. And I had some success in corporate America, but obviously the most success is me investing in myself and then investing in my people around me. And so I think the biggest thing is if you're a younger person and you come across this and you watch this, is just to dream big and dream out loud. I truly believe in manifesting the words that you want to accomplish in front of you and telling those things to people. But you have to be prepared for people to try to put those boundaries on you, and you can't listen to them. A lot of people project their fears onto you, and we don't talk about that enough in the community. So when we talk about dreams and talk about being a dreamer and achieving your dreams, you have to talk about the things that come with that, with people and naysayers saying that's never been done before. And then look at we did an activation with the Chicago Blackhawks, or the USTA flew me out to the Australian Open to do some engagement and some activations. So I think that's a big part of the dreaming part, and dreaming and executing and accomplishing your dreams.
Absolutely, man. You said a couple of big things there, man. First of all, you're having people to believe in you and believe in your dreams is huge, because so often, especially in our communities, we can see where we wind up surrounding ourselves with people that'll drown your dreams, right?
Absolutely.
Or they'll make the word dreams a negative. Oh, you dream.
Yeah.
You just dream,
Yeah.
Versus that, like here, the energy with Black Man Lab is we tell the young men when we're in the space together, whatever it is that you want to do, we're going to help you We're going to figure out how to help you get there.
Yep.
And I want to add something to that right quick, man, something that's so important. And we're going to get on to Ski and my frat brother to answer as well. But Jay, one of the things you said, and my wife thinks I'm absolutely crazy, but saying it out loud to make it manifest itself. So here's my thing why I think that's so important. Anybody that knows me knows integrity is probably the most important thing to me. Like faith and all that stuff, I'm about that, but integrity. So for me, I'm a man of my word. So when I say something out loud, dead to right, I got to figure out how to make that happen. Yeah. If it sounds like something's crazy, then I said it. I intentionally say it out loud. So now I'm holding myself accountable to make it happen. Yep. So I appreciate that, brother, because I promise you, my wife thinks I'm crazy with some of the stuff I said. But after 10 years of marriage, she has seen it all come to fruition as well.
I think you're brilliant. That. I think you're brilliant for it.
Nah, I'm with both of y'all on it, man, in terms of manifestation. Put it in the universe. Yeah. In fact, I took, when we flew back last night, I wrote out 3 pages of what's going to happen in the next 18 months. And it's crazy. I mean, it's wild. I'm like, oh man, I'm scaring my damn self with this one. It's gonna happen, because none of what we talked about Black Man Lab, Jarrod, others, Marty, Joe, we talked about what could be possible. When we had 20, first set we had was 40 people. And then we end up with 250. Because every single Monday. Yeah. And brothers are coming back. And we're not talking about basketball or music. We just vibing.
Molly, what we're talking about is dreams, right? We're trying to get them everybody to manifest their dreams because we know the capability of us, right? Jason, you're a great example. Chance, you're a great example. Skeet, you're a great example. We know that when we put our mind to doing whatever it is that we want to do, it gets done, right? And it gets done in a way that's better than what we see across the board most of the time. And that's what Black people do.
One of the Skeet, I know we coming right to you, man. One of the most beautiful songs that's a part of the We Need You soundtrack is a song that says Black dreams are sacred. Mm-hmm. Man, this brother wrote this song, performs it. I hope to play it. I'll get Martin. Martin is here. I'll grab Martin to join us and play it at the end so that you all can hear we got to protect those Black dreams. Yeah. So, but
yeah.
Right. So I was riding in the car with the brothers.
He's talking about Martin, young Martin, and the young brothers from the program.
And I say, listen, talk to me about the year 2030, and let it all come from you, those your age, those in your likeness, and those in your belief system. And don't include me in the equation. I want it all to come from you. And I remember a while ago, now, my great-grandmother, she was born in 1898. She said that you're going to be something. Now, she never explained it. And then years ago, it must have been like in the late 90s, I was in Chicago, and Mawuli's grandmother, she said, give me your hands, and touched my hands. She said, uh-huh. And that's all she said. So, so I've been chasing dreams. But then, so you can be a dream keeper, but like, so I kept asking the brothers, in 2030, can you see it? And then, that's my whole thrust that victory belongs to them.
Mm. Absolutely. And that's, I think the key is for us of a certain age that we have to be willing to download the information that we have in here to help them to realize their dreams, to help them understand that there are no limitations, that there is nothing that can keep you. If you really want to get to whatever that dream is, you want to be a doctor, you want to be an astronaut, whatever that dream is, you want to be a whatever, whatever that dream is, if you put your mind to it as a black man, you can do it. So we can get deep real quick here, but I don't want to short Skeet at all. Skeet, go ahead. What were your thoughts, brother?
Well, I have quite a bit, kind of similar to what was stated, but just from an adverse point of view, like I didn't have dreams. I remember being a young person. I didn't dream about what could be. I'm from very humble beginnings, and I personally felt like I didn't have anything, and therefore I didn't dream. But my family, they never made me feel inferior. So I held on to that. So there was a series of things that helped me get to this point. So I held on to that, and I always believed that I can achieve, but I didn't have a certain dream in mind. But then when I started to get a little older in elementary school, and I realized that I can hold my own academically with my peers, because I come from a very close-knit and competitive community. So it was then I started to believe that I can do something with my life. And as I continued to get older, I just felt I can do more with my life, and I can change the outcome of those that are in my family that are coming behind me. And it really started with this family-centered dream. So it then became a dream. But when my younger years, it wasn't a dream. And then again, it was all about me uplifting my younger generation, because I didn't want them to feel the way that I felt growing up that we didn't have. And so that's where I got to the point in my professional career, is that I wanted to be a person that worked with young people to kind of guide them along the right path. And then from a personal standpoint, that's how my foundation developed. With my foundation, and I made a comment on social media earlier today when I got the invite for this. And, we're talking about chasing dreams, right? And when I think about the dream, that's the end, that's the goal, right? But my motto for Hoop Till It Hurts is earn your glory. So it's about the work that's in the middle, right? And the work is just not the physical labor. It's the preparation, the planning, the dealing with resources. So again, all of what you guys are doing are aligned. And I just want to help those that in particular that feel like there is no hope. I want them to know that there is hope. We believe, and together, including you all on this panel, and together we can help you figure out your path and resources along the way to achieve your goal and or your dream. So that's how I got to this point.
Love it. Love it.
Good stuff.
They say in Lift Every Voice and Sing, when hope unborn had died. When hope unborn had died. That's what Skeet is, when you didn't even have something to hope from. And that's why I think it's so important to draw on those lessons of the ancestors, that they figured out a way to just, when through our eyes, it's like, man, you might as well not even hope. But here we are, right? Here we are. And man, I feel that. I feel that what you just shared, Skeet, for real. That's real.
Yeah. And that's a big part. We're talking about chasing your dreams, but it's really the path of what you do to do that, right? To Skeet's point, you got to put in the work. And I truly believe us specifically, because of our history, because of where we come from as Black folk, is because of what's in our DNA. I truly believe that anytime that we put in the work, that we see the results and we see our dreams, right? So that's the piece that as I have young folks, again, when we're live and in person, we have a room of young folks, and they, I say, hey man, what do you want to do? What would you like to see yourself do as an adult? What do you want to do? And they say, hey, I want to be whatever it is. Then I say, do that. Okay, let's figure out a way to help you to do that. But you still have to put in the work. You still have to put in the work. You do the work, and it's going to, all of a sudden, luck goes out the picture because you've done what you need to do to get there. So, again, we'll continue. Go ahead, Miles.
I just want to bring Miguel, Miguel Dominguez in. Miguel is an Afro Puerto Rican kid from the Bronx who is now doing it big in the legal community here in Atlanta. And I'm proud of brother doing what he's done, man. He's done. Changed the whole direction of his I just want him to share how we plan now it manifested.
Thank you, Molly. I appreciate those kind words. And what was it? My internet on this phone was breaking up, so I was having a hard time following some of what you just said. But what was the question?
Well, he was just first of all, Miguel, he was giving you a big hint of who you are, and what he did, maybe the most important thing, you're a board member of Black Man Lab. But the question is, actually, you just can talk. We're talking about chasing dreams, but you can talk to, what got you to where you are at today.
Man, I've had such a long and come from such humble circumstance, had such a long journey to where I am, but honestly wouldn't change a thing. I come from the South Bronx during the crack epidemic, late 70s, early 80s, nothing but gang violence and murder and drugs and prostitution and a lack of role models and a terrible education system that was a part of the South Bronx back then. And ultimately, what I find today as I've become an attorney and a trial attorney at that, the reality is a lot of my pain and suffering and the ills of growing up in the hood are actually what makes me a more valuable attorney these days. I'm able to speak to people from the heart and really speak to my clients' pain and suffering and their life experiences in a way that a lot of my colleagues on the other side that look differently and have different experiences cannot do. They can't replicate my voice. They can't replicate my experience, and they cannot speak persuasively about the struggle of our people and what suffering looks like and what justice should look like. And so I've turned those experiences early on into the keys of my success, and I think that's probably what Mawuli was talking about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Joe, were you going to jump in?
Yeah, I want to ask a question right quick. And Jason touched on it earlier, but I want to, with all you guys, including Miguel, man, it's so valuable. Jason kind of mentioned something with respect to chasing your dreams. And we talk about the glorious side of it. We talk about the glorified side of it. And Miguel has begun to break down like, this is where I came from. And this is some of the value that I have here. What I want to talk about is the elephant in the room. I want to talk about what happens when it's those family members, not the haters outside the family. What happens when it's those family members that say, no, you shouldn't be doing this. No, you don't do that. No. I can tell you when I started mentoring young men that were with Gary, as y'all know, with Gary, my mom was the first one to tell me, no, that doesn't need to be your focus. Your focus needs to be your sons and your sons only. You can't save the world. You can't save the community. And this is my mom telling me that, the person who raised me, and I'm grateful to her for everything. So I want you all to talk to testify to those people that might be closest or were closest to y'all that were telling y'all, don't do this, don't do that. Meanwhile, you knew in your heart you had a God-given drive that you knew was something you were supposed to be doing, and you continued to go after it. And Jay, we'll start with you because you brought it up a little bit, but we'll start with you. But I want to touch all y'all to touch on that.
Yeah. No, I think that's key, man, so I incorporate this into the yoga instruction as well. but into the mentorship. Now, mind you, I also am a certified life coach. So I have executives from Amazon that I not only do yoga with, but kind of help them along the way. One of my other clients is the newly appointed director of Nike and Jordan brand for North America. He's a FAMU grad as well. And so when you talk about those dreams, when you talk about those family members, at the end of the day, what I tell people, and I just told a young person that just got a offer letter to hoop at the college he wanted to go to, kind of pulled and given to someone else. Like, you have to be relentless. It don't matter if it's your mama, your grandma, your brother. They all are gonna let their internal fears put boundaries on you.
Right.
And you have to be relentless and go after it. And you have to have this hunger. I've been turned down probably 95% of the people or the companies that I pitched, but it's the 5% that matters. And you have to be able to go in to every meeting with that optimism. And even when you get denied, you know what I'm saying, get back up and get ready for the next pitch, or to get ready for the next meeting, the next coffee date. And you just have to have that hunger. And if you don't, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, your dreams, bless you, brother, your dreams are gonna have a ceiling. And I don't have a ceiling on me. I don't put ceilings on me, and I don't allow anybody else to do this. And I'll give you guys one quick story about me being a dreamer. I do business development consultant for the athletic department at FAMU. And so we're just coming off of this huge deal with Nike. And so I'm trying to take that momentum into some things for the band, and actually reached out to one of the major labels to, like, hey, sign the band, sign the FAMU Marching 100. And then I also have reached to one of my friends that works for UTA and said, hey, I want to get the band on Versus, them against another high-power band, and let's do that shit. And, you know, he gave me like 4 or 5 different reasons on why that couldn't happen, or they don't take suggestions from outside people. And I'm like, well, they don't do it until they do. And so that brother was like, well, you know what? I've seen you make other crazy stuff happen, bro, that turns into amazing things. So I'm gonna get out your way and just introduce you to these folks, and I'll let them tell you no, but let me not place my boundaries and my limits on you. And that's what on both sides of that, you got to be bold enough, but also have the execution behind you for people to believe in you when you talk about betting on yourself. But as that other person, you also have to get out of some people's way and just say, this brother doing some great shit. Let me just open the door for him. If don't nothing happen, cool. If it do, let's do it. So that's kind of my take on it.
Hey, real quick, Jason, I want you to know that Joe is a FAMU alumni. He might have graduated a little bit before you.
A little bit.
I know that with confidence.
Probably about a decade.
Hey, there you go, Molly. There you go.
Joe is 80s, right? You graduated late 80s, didn't you?
Early 90s, but that's close enough, bro.
Early 90s. Okay. All right. Your name ring. I think I know your.
Yeah, let's not get into that. That's a different topic, different panel, bro.
That's not chasing your dreams.
Check this out. What's funny or profound is that Mama and Jerry, and at the end, brothers, we're gonna do a ritual to kind of close us out that was given to us by a sister who's now an ancestor in Jerry Alghani. And what she used to tell us early in my organizing here in Atlanta around reparations is that we just need people who don't support it just to be neutral, right? So sometimes the best thing we can do is just be neutral. Don't even, it's what you said, Jay, like make the intro and just be neutral. Just don't, be neutral. She would say that all the time because we're out organizing and somebody would just, we ain't gonna never get reparations. She's like, hold on for a second, brother. Why don't you just be neutral? just chill. Because, there was a period that they said our ancestors weren't going to be free. Yeah. There was a period when they said this going to the back door and eating at the back of the bus was going to be forever. So don't ever say never, especially about Black folk, because we always found a way. So just be neutral. So I just wanted to share that piece, man.
Hey, Joe, I want to hop in there.
Go ahead, Miguel. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so your question was spot on in terms of my life experiences. My mother had thrown me out of the house when I was about 15, 16 years old, and that was because I was really wilding out and I wasn't following her house rules, and I wanted to be in the street. But ultimately, by the end of high school, I started to turn it around a little bit because I had some teachers and some guidance counselors that wanted to pour into me and wanted to save my life, and ultimately put a thought in my head that I had never had, which was that I could be college bound. And they ultimately got me into a university, one singular university, a University of Buffalo, accepted me. And when I shared that with my mother, you would think, as a woman who was really, really fearful that I was in the street and that, I was really going to end up either in prison or in the ground, when I came and told her and showed her that acceptance letter for the University of Buffalo, she did not celebrate that.
Wow.
She literally told me that I was doing the wrong thing, that I had no business going to college. And ultimately, as I look back on it now, ultimately what it was, first of all, her college experience was terrible. She only lasted through one semester. She had been jumped several grades and got in there literally when she was like 16 years old with some grown ass kids, and ended up being raped on the college campus. And so my mother's experience with college, for one, was that of danger, but two, I had been the man of the house. And so for me to leave her by herself meant that she was going to be lonely. She wasn't going to have that support system. So for her, me announcing that I was going away to college was not good news at all. And so when you say that your mom, didn't support that, like, that was my exact story. That was my exact story. And she put tremendous pressure and emotional and psychological hurdles for me to go, but I had to go. And I left the city. I left New York City, left all of that behind, including her, and ultimately to get where I am today. So sometimes, some of that negativity comes from people closest to you, but it's not necessarily because they're hating on you. It's because they're trying to project their own fears and their own things that their own failures onto you, and you got to fight that.
Yep. Man, that's so well said, man. And like Jason said, they project those fears, and I appreciate the way that y'all unpack that like that, man. Skeet, man, what about you? What are your thoughts, brother?
So I definitely want to follow that up because while he's speaking in terms of his mom and her fears because of her past experience, I think the negativity or the pushback that I received was primarily due to uncertainty. I was the first one in my family to go away to college. I'm an 18-year-old man. Well, I was 17 at the time, 17-year-old, finished high school, and they saw that I had did well academically. So with my physical stature, my mindset, they were thinking, get a job at the post office, you'll be employed forever. But my thought was, I can't just settle for that because I watch where we come from. and I need to move on. And this was the conversations with my mother. Now, and I'm going to say this, and I never even mentioned it to her, but I'm going to mention it to you guys. And if she's listening in, then this will be a conversation for us later. One of my aunts, because I grew up in the Cabrini Green area. So if you're talking Cabrinis, 80s, 90s, you know what's going on. So, but I was a little different, right? I didn't engage in all of the activity that was going on there. I wasn't bullied. I wasn't a punk. I was nothing like that. It's just that I didn't get involved in a lot of the negative stuff that was going on. So they saw me as different, right? And so one of my aunts said to me when I was getting all ready and preparing to go away to college, I think her exact words were, what is that going to do for you? You're just going to be an educated dummy, right? Which means I wouldn't understand how to facilitate the streets. So I never said anything about that. Let's go. And I went to school in northern Minnesota. So let's go full circle. About a month ago, my sister lives in Minnesota now. So I took a van load of my family, including my aunt that made that statement when I was 17 years old. I took them up to Minnesota and we toured the George Floyd Memorial, Mall of America. I took my family to just see that. And my aunt, who probably doesn't even remember that she said that to me, she pulled me to the side on this particular trip and she said, you know, I always knew that you would make something of yourself. So I mean, obviously there's no bitter or no ill will towards
no, of course not, brother.
But no one had gone on to college. So they thought that I was setting myself up for failure. And the way to communicate that to me came off wrong. But I said, and I'm going to say, and I'm not here for like accolades or anything like that. But when we talk about chasing our dreams, I didn't do a lot of the things I did in life for me. I did it for those to follow. So when I went away to school, I wanted people to follow. And since I actually graduated from college, there's been a number of people that have gone along behind me in my family. In fact, last week, I was at Wilberforce University to celebrate my niece's graduation. So I think me chasing my dreams have allowed others to fulfill their dream. And I use that negativity that I received early on to just be a source of motivation and positivity for those who might be in a situation in limbo, not knowing which road to take. Because as you guys stated, that manifesting that positivity can push people a long way. So kind of similar to Miguel's, but a little twitch in there.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you just said, that just little twist. That's why I asked the question, man, because we have people listening that the same thing is happening to them on their path, but just in a little bit different way, you know? So I wanted them to hear all of the different versions, whether it was my mom telling me, just worry about my sons, whether it was your mom, your auntie telling you, you know, you're just going to be an educated dummy, or Miguel's mom just not receiving it at all. Like, it's always a variation. And when we have these people that are listening to this, fellas, they're able to hear that, and then they'll start recognizing, oh, yeah, something like that did happen to me. It came from my big brother. It came from a big sister. So that wasn't they're hating on me. I shouldn't be mad at them about it. That's their own fears. That's their own way of expressing their concerns. That has nothing to do with my path forward. You know, I need to continue manifesting this. So that's why I asked that difficult question, so they could hear all these versions. I wanted, did Brother Maurice have a scenario he wanted to talk to us about? I'm sure he, as one of our elders, has some value in explaining how some of the ones closest to you said things.
Right, brothers. So there is one thing that I learned from women. Their fear is that one day we won't come back home by hook or by crook or by danger. And so in their way of saying things to us, they're basically trying to say, please don't leave, because I want you to walk back in that door. And sometimes they say certain things that will hurt us or damage us, you know, or harm us. But and you know, this is what I've learned is that they want to know at the end of the night, you're going to be in that house. And so with every chick, you not to go to school, you know, not to go to college, they want to make sure that your home's safe. And so sometimes our mothers try to find ways to say, just come on back home. And I know 5 educated Black women, and they say that every time their sons leave the house, their heart jumps.
Yeah.
You know, and then so that was communicated, you know, to me very well. You know, and so let me speak for the women. I have 2 sons. And dude, I have no worry about them not coming home. I don't have that in me. Because God got to do what God has to do. But for so many women, they see tragedy and death, and it comes across a difficult way. So let's forgive them. Let's forgive ourselves. It's all we got to say, Mom, I'm coming home. I'm gonna be there. That's the message. Mm-hmm. We got to get Horton.
Yeah, I want to see one of our young creators, innovators, and entrepreneur project people is on here. I want to see if I can get him in to talk about the topic that we have here. My brother, my namesake, young Martin.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Good to see you. Good to see you, y'all.
Good to see all of y'all.
This young man has been putting in so much work for the Black Man Lab. You guys may or may not know we've had a project that was built around Brother Mawuli's new book titled "We Need You," and with that we created this project that we created music. All these, I say we, the young people created music. They created visual art. They created spoken word. And it was just a beautiful project that's come through fruition. And young Martin here has been a very integral part of it. He's helped to do a little bit of everything. But with that, I wanted to make sure that we brought him on. So Martin, give a little bit about you, and let's talk about dreams as they relate to you.
Dreams. Well, if anybody doesn't know, my name is Martin Kinsey. I pretty much grew up most of my life in Atlanta. I've always had a big dream of things, and I heard you guys talk about, pushing forward with your dreams, and how sometimes the people closest to you might get in your way or might discourage you in those type of ways. And I've had the same things happen to me, even, at my young age, even from starting a sneaker company and, reselling sneakers. And at first people were discouraging me and telling me that it wouldn't work until it worked. And then they started purchasing sneakers from me. So, I definitely resonate with that a lot. And, in all aspects of it. So, I've always been attached to the business side of things, from branding and marketing things. So I caught a hold to that. I played basketball in college at Lincoln University, and I stopped playing basketball because I was running my company, and it became to be too much. And I knew I didn't want to play in the NBA. I always wanted to be the one that was going to sign a check for the NBA players. So that was where some of my motivation came from, was understanding where I was going and where I was headed. So that's just a little bit about me and my dreams. My socials is CEO.sway. So it's simple. It's CEO.sway.
Put it in the group me. But just on some networking stuff, Martin, I actually have a sneaker app that we're bringing to market. That's gonna kind of revolutionize how you approach the business. So definitely hit me with I see you put it in there. Let's definitely connect offline.
Yeah, for sure. I'll put my sneaker page in there as well.
Martin, make sure you look at your how much your books are going to cost for the fall. I got part of that, right?
Yeah, man, I know you get a percentage of everything.
No. I said your college books. I'm paying.
Oh, okay.
The fall.
All right.
Hey,
Yeah, I appreciate
Martin,
that.
can you play before we? Can you play that Black Dreams? Is that available for the brothers to hear? I think it's right in line. And then I know Marty is going to close us out with habits and rituals, because this group, I know, got some crazy habits and rituals.
Okay, got you.
And the voices call from the mountain tops. They're loud and clear as the sunlight burning away my fears. I thought my life would die in this concrete wilderness. Every time we speak, I feel this melody telling me my black dreams are sacred. My black dreams are sacred. They want me to shoot my shot, Jordan hand in the air, but they shoot me in my back with my hands in the air. It ain't fair, I don't care, curl a fist in the air. Like the curls in my hair, we ain't going nowhere. If it start from the heart and the mind and the soul, wake up from your dream, then make it a goal. Go on with the cell, farewell to the jail smell. King had a dream and I did as well. Hell, the inmate number is not your name. They are not the same. Queen, we need you to boost your self-esteem. We need you to dream.
Black queen and she reigns, never call her name. Yeah, she's blessed by the gods, her ancestors gave a game. There would be nothing without her, she's a catalyst for change. Word to my mama and Jerry, I'ma link up in this chain.
My black dreams are sacred. 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 Dreams, my black dreams are sacred.
All right. Great stuff. So again, that's just one of many, and very appropriate for tonight's topic. But one of many of the songs that have come from the project. And listening to that, thinking about our dreams and thinking about the possibilities of where we can be as a people, just is heartwarming, and it's motivating, quite honestly. With that, man, we are up against the clock. I want to make sure what we do every week, guys, is we ask our panelists what their habits, rituals, and disciplines are that they do on a daily basis to keep you moving forward. So I'm going to ask that of you guys. What are your habits, rituals, and disciplines that you do on a daily basis that keep you centered, keep you focused, keep you moving forward to whatever your dreams are? And I'll start with you, Jason. How about you, man? What are your habits, rituals, and disciplines?
I think for me, the last 5 years, just been really cutting out all the fat when it comes to things that aren't serving me, people that aren't serving me, getting into, energy exchanges is what I call them, that just don't serve the overall good or myself. But again, I mentioned it earlier, the yoga is is clutch. It's definitely kept me out of some situations the last 5 years where, Marty, in Chicago, man, like we're ultra aggressive, and I've had some cats come, directly, in my space, and I just be like, I'm gonna give that brother a pass today instead of escalating that. But more importantly, taking those healthy habits, therapy as well. I think that's super important for us. Taking those healthy habits and passing them on to the younger people, especially coming from Chicago and even in Atlanta, and being in Inglewood, they are immersed and ensconced in trauma, and they don't have an outlet, and that's when they usually go into reciprocating. So I've had some of the most gangster young dudes in yoga, bro, and they walk out of that not even knowing that type of space existed within their head to be able to release that and whatnot. So that's my healthy habit, and then more importantly, passing those healthy habits down to others, and then drinking water and minding your business.
I like that too. I like
drink water, mind your business, bro.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near anywhere where you're at as far as yoga, but I on a try to every day while I'm in Atlanta. I go to this place and do hot yoga, which is a real, no pun intended, stretch for me. He knows well. We play ball together, and he knows me going up and down the court was a stiff proposition at best.
Yeah, I used to hoop with y'all too. So.
Yeah, I know. You used to hoop back with too. But so I not hooping anymore. Now I figured I had to do something, so I started doing the hot yoga, and it's more about the mental, I think, than it is, from a athletic point of view, of course. So I completely get that, man. Good stuff. Skeet, how about you, man? Habits, rituals, and disciplines.
I think I'm going to mirror some of those same sentiments. I try to work out every day. Having to watch, it kind of keeps me in tune. I stay to that, obviously drinking water, and I'm kind of changing my eating style a little bit. So that keeps me, feeling good about myself and energized when I go to work. The one thing that I would like to add is that I have to laugh. I laugh every day, if it's with my girl, if it's with my other guys in the group text, I have to laugh because that gets me through, right? That keeps the stress away, right? And I try to avoid that at all costs. And one way of doing that is always, and this is a ritual of mine, always looking at the bright side or the other point of view, right? Then that way I don't get so immersed into negativity, right? So even if it's something I'm doing or someone's doing, I look at it from a different point of view just to see where they're at, and then I move forward with that type of approach. So it's not always a negative feeling that I want to take with me.
Yes, that's a great point too, man. The staying away from negative thought and
people.
Yeah, well, negative people can be there. They're going to be there, but not allowing them to affect your space. So often, and you touched on a little bit before, Jay. All of us being from Chicago, we know that there's that kind of buck up that we have, right? When somebody says something or does something in a negative way, our natural reaction is to respond that way. But when you start to really internalize it and say, hey, that dude is going through something, or that person is going through something, I'm going to just leave that negativity where it's at, and I'm not going to let it affect me. You walk away so much better for it, So completely understand that, Ski. So thanks for that. Maurice, what about you, brother? You got some habits, rituals, and disciplines?
So, bro, the only thing that I can say, I do a lot of praying. I pray to something happens, and I ask people to pray for me, and I will pray for you. And prayer is my comfort. And I do it all throughout the day. Because sometimes you walk by a person and so I openly pray. in front of people on the bus. I tried that in the middle of traffic. It didn't work. So now, now I got down. But I say pray, and until something happens. Unceasing prayer is really important, because and then but people have to see you in a humble submission state, and I'm at ease with that all day.
And Marty, one thing I just started doing more of, man, in the last 6 months is pouring libations every morning to just honor the ancestors, just to give, just to remind myself of the power that's in me, that's in us, and the sanctity and the sacredness of our work, in continuing. Jana shared something with me the other day. She's reading Cicely Tyson's autobiography.
Yeah.
And Cicely Tyson said that what she realized about her mother and other mothers was that she was, and we are, their dream keepers. And that resonated with me, that there's someone who came before us that dreamt for us to be, and that if we can keep that dream, we fulfill a promise, an intergenerational promise. So so the libations has even a deeper meaning now for me than it ever has before.
That's great stuff. And to Maurice's point and to yours, I think that believing in something higher is the bridge to your dreams, right? One of the biggest challenges that we have in life to getting to our dreams is getting to the point of accepting that there is a supernatural, right? When we talk about supernatural, that's when we talk about spirituality and things of that nature. And so often people fight that. They fight the supernatural. And when we get to a point where we're willing to accept that, then you start to see that trajectory of dreams happening. So, brothers, we are up against, we can close out. Mawuli, you want to do the close out?
Oh man, I'd be honored, man. Young Martin, get in here, man, so we can show him how we can do this with three brothers. Come on in here, Martin. So Martin's in another office. So brothers, we had a tradition. I told you, I mentioned Sister Njeri, and you got to slide over so he can get in. We mentioned Sister Njeri, and we link up in this way. I don't know if y'all can see me. We link up. So, and when we linked, she would tell us that we are links in this chain and it won't break here. And so all over the world, we just want brothers and sisters who might be watching to just come together like this, symbolically to link up and just repeat after us. I'm a link in this chain.
I'm a link in this chain.
And it won't break here.
And it won't break here.
I am a link in this chain.
I'm a link in this chain.
And it won't break here.
And it won't break here.
We are links in this chain.
We are links
in this chain.
And we won't break here.
And we won't break here.
Ashe.
Brothers.
Thank y'all, brothers.
Thank you,
Marty. Great work.
It won't break here.
Thanks so much, y'all. Jason, Skeet, thanks so much, man, for being here. What I say every week whenever we have our panelists on is when we get back in person, we want to have you in that space. So even though y'all in Chicago, we're going to have to figure it out that one time that you all come down to Atlanta and are in the space. We're looking at going back live in July if all goes well. But we want to have all of our people that have been on this panel, all of our people that come to understand what we're doing here, to be in that space, to share your gifts and to, interact with our young folks and again, help us keep moving this forward. And we're going to do that for you too. So Skeet and Jason, I'll tell you, if you all need us, the Black Man Lab, any of us for anything, please reach out, and we will be happy to be part of it.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, brothers. Appreciate
Thank
you.
y'all, man. Love y'all, man.
Right,
hey,
man.
Yeah, I see you down at FAMU's homecoming, man.